All right, this is it. This is the final stanza for today's episode of Stop the Steal TV. The steal is on. The Patriots are on to them. The president is in the White House. He's been awful quiet. He shoots out a tweet here and there, but he's laying in the weeds. You know, I don't know. Any of you guys, Kim Bender is on, Beth Shepard, James Pooler, Robin Bosler. They think we're still being conned by Trump, which we're not being conned. We actually believe the con has been played on us. And I don't think there's a lot to ask to get to the bottom of counting every legally cast ballot and removing every illegally cast ballot. I would think everyone out there, even you haters out there, you know, let's do a group hug or something. You know what I mean? Because what happens is you hate me right now because I'm asking for free and fair elections. And, you know, at some point, the tables may be turned. And what you want is to make sure that when it's your guy up there, it's a free and fair election. So stop with the hate, okay? Now, Project Veritas, who I have been following closely, I know James O'Keefe for years. He's been on this show a few times, but we always cite his work. Project Veritas shares a video who says he saw counters calling Trump votes for Biden, which is scary. Check this out.
Veritas has insiders in the Georgia recount that are catching votes wrongly attributed to Biden. Check this out.
So the second person is supposed to be checking it, right? So 3 times in 3 minutes she called out Biden. The second auditor caught it, and she said, no, this is Trump.
It's not mandatory.
Now, that's just while I'm standing there. So does the second checker catch it every time? But this way, in 3 times in 3 minutes, from 2:09 to 2:12, she got 3 wrong.
That's just in the short time that you were
that I was standing there. And does it get corrected every time? Because the next table I went to right after that, the only reason I left that table is because there was one where the first person was reading it off, handing it to her. She's not even looking at it, she's just putting it in.
Putting it in which set?
Whatever one the first person said. So table 17 was the first one where the woman got it wrong 3 times. Table 18 was where the first person would call out Biden or Trump. She'd pass it across the table. The other person did not even look at it and just put it wherever the first person said. That person is supposed to be auditing it, checking the second one. Gotcha. And so here's what happened after that. So I go and report it. They say, oh, we'll talk to the election officials, blah, 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 blah. They tell her, hey, I guess they talked to her. And so I come back by again in a few minutes. She's not doing it after they've talked to her. So I come and stand next to her and she goes like this. Like being all cutesy about it, being exactly.
Being snarky.
Yeah, so I keep walking, I turn around, I look, and she's looking at me walking away as she's getting handed more ballots. So she's watching me. That's when things start getting real shady, like really like tense and cop. Because no matter where I was standing in the room, her and a couple other people started, you know, they were calling their boss over there, pointing at me. I haven't touched anybody, I haven't talked to anybody, haven't done anything. All I'm doing is writing down, observing, telling what happened. So I see they're all talking to her, and they keep like pointing over here. Well, I make another slow lap around the room, and as I come back behind her, she says, I'm paid by the taxpayer, and these assholes want to come in here and watch me.
3 times in 3 minutes is what is the significance of that to you?
If the other people aren't second checking it correctly, then, you know, stuff could be sliding through.
Is that actually what you saw?
Yeah, I'm not making this up. That's what I saw.
That sounds crazy, right? They're looking at the ballot. Now this ballot's marked for Trump. And they look at it. The poll watchers are over there 6 feet away. Oh, that's a Biden. You give it. Oh, that's a Biden too. You give it. There's nobody checking this crap. But here's a guy who's saying he saw it happening. So lots of crazy things. But I think Ted Cruz, senator from Texas, put it best.
I'll start with a radical proposition, which is that elections are decided when the results have been counted and the legal proceedings are over. That didn't used to be a controversial proposition.
All right, that's Ted Cruz, and I got to agree with him. Like, you know, most of the time the election's over when all the ballots are counted. The legal ballots are counted. And if we got to sift through some stuff there, you know, we might have to take a few more minutes. Would you want to go at 6, Nico? Yeah. Down in Georgia now yesterday, and I'm going to get my butt down to Georgia very soon because that's where it's all going to go down. But apparently, while they're saying, nothing to see here, ballots are popping up all over the place with Trump's name on them. Look at this.
Continues to prove what we've been saying all along, that each step we take to protect election integrity, if it's this hand recount in Georgia where all of a sudden they have found 2,600 additional votes, that's 2,600 Georgians who almost didn't have their voice heard in the presidential election. This is another step toward us being able to make sure that this is a free and fair election, that we can trust the results.
And where it's all happening, down in Georgia, you got a Republican governor who's questionable now, Lynn Wood, and also Sidney Powell making some really, really bold statements that Governor Kemp, Republican governor there, may be in on the joke, along with the Secretary of State down in Florida. And Trump says the fake recount going on in Georgia means nothing, because they're not allowing signatures to be looked at and verified. Break the unconstitutional consent decree. So the governor entered into this consent decree with Stacey Abrams, who's a community organizer from Georgia, that they're not going to compare signatures. They're not going to worry about if ballots come in late. They're not going to worry about if the ballots have postmarks on them. So they agree to this. But here's the one problem, okay? The governor and the failed candidate for governor on the Democrat side, they don't get to make the law on the election. The time, manner, and place of the election is all laid out in a statutory way by the legislature, the two houses of legislature there, okay? And many are saying that Biden holds this huge lead, but guess where it comes from? It comes from mostly mail-in ballots. So take a look at this. Okay, Biden's absentee vote lead. Iowa, he leads by 16%. Ohio, 16%. Michigan, oh, look at that one, 38%. Pennsylvania, 57%. Illinois, 24%. Indiana, 13%. Something doesn't, what?
Negative 13.
Negative 13. Okay, so we're winning in Indiana. I'm going to leave it there. Spread the word. Every single day, we're stopping the steal, and we'll be here tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. More Stop the Steal.